I have another amazing friend on with me here today, and I'm super excited to dive into this, Lynnette, because I think what we're about to talk about is something that not a lot of people are really aware of, and that is, what are essential oils really for?
Working? No.
It is.
It is?
Hey,
Oh, there we
everybody.
go.
Happy Thursday morning. It is Katie, MOMnation's founder, and I am here for another Live and Learn. We've done like 500 billion Live and Learns, and I love them so much because we typically feature a group member that has something to share with us, whether it's specific knowledge that we can walk away from this show and use right away, or maybe it's a skill or something that they are here to teach us. And this today is very much like that. We are going to learn lots of things. Hello, Marissa. I am watching comments, so if you guys have any questions for us while we go through this, then definitely pop a comment below, and I will ask our amazing guest today, Lynnette Hunt, whatever questions you have, or we'll mention whatever comments that you have. So please feel free to do that. Before we get started, guys, I just want to share with you a little bit about my friends at Heath Family Pool Service. They service the Phoenix area, so they're here in Phoenix, Arizona. If you're listening to this across the country, I'm sorry they can't come and take care of your pool, but you totally wish that they could, because quite honestly, Lynnette, like, they are the best pool company that I have ever stumbled upon. And I've been in the real estate industry here for 16 plus years, and I have met many a pool person, dealt with many a pool company, got a couple of pools myself. And I have to tell you, Heath Family Pools is where it stops, guys. Like, I am no longer on the search for another pool service. They provide many pool-related services, pretty much everything except for building and remodeling. If you have any questions at all, they're always willing to help you out, always willing to answer questions. So definitely get in touch with Heath Family Pools on their Facebook business page, which is just that, Heath Family Pools, Heath. And you can pop them off a message and ask them whatever question. They're super, super helpful. So check them out. They are my friends in the Phoenix, Arizona area. Speaking of friends, I have another amazing friend on with me here today, and I'm super excited to dive into this, Lynnette, because I think what we're about to talk about is something that not a lot of people are really aware of. And that is, what are essential oils really for? Like, a lot of times we see online, or maybe we hop over to a friend's house and they've got this beautiful fragrance diffusing, and that's all they're really talking about is the fragrance from the oil. But there is a deeper reason, there is a deeper meaning to these oils. And Lynnette, take it away.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. I find when we think essential oils, everybody really thinks perfume, what it smells like. And yes, that is great. And it's got a lot more benefit than just the smell when you diffuse it in your house. And we can do a whole live and learn on that alone.
Yes.
But I wanted to make sure that everybody's got a little bit of a better idea of what more you can do with essential oils, because the kind of clients and customers that I work with, it goes a lot deeper and a lot further than putting a few drops of essential oils in your diffuser and having a toxic-free home, which is, as you said earlier, super important, which yes, it is. That's where it starts. But there's a lot more to it. So when we start digging a little bit deeper into health and wellness and exactly how to approach that, a lot of 99% of my clients are people that will come to me and say, Lynnette, I have had a certain issue and I've been to various doctors and tons of medications later, and I'm still not feeling any better. And don't get me wrong, I've got nothing against doctors and Western medicine. I think the synergy between natural and Western is where the sweet spot lies.
Yeah.
Just because in certain situations, I will be able to help that person combat or overcome all the negative effects that you get from certain medications. You can't heal everything with natural solutions, but you can feel better. You can take all the negative things that you get from the Western medications that you have to take, you can minimize that or completely take it away.
Right. Like a great example would be your On Guard product. I absolutely love your On Guard product. I used to, when my kid was younger, yes, I spoke to his pediatrician. For everybody out there that's concerned about that, I did. And I would put like a drop on his heels of the On Guard. And I was just talking to my husband about this last night. My kid was not sick, and this is no lie, for the first 2 years of his life, like not sick. And I attribute it to a lot of things, you know, obviously sleep and diet and all of that, but is the On Guard. And to this day, we still use On Guard. If, you know, the seasons change, I'm down the hatch for me. I mean, again, talk to my doctor about it, guys. So those of you out there that are concerned about that, I've done the appropriate research, but I throw that in a little capsule and bada boom. Not going to say I've never gotten sick, you know, while doing that, but it's certainly a lot less frequent than my friends.
And it lasts, your period of being unwell is a lot shorter.
Yes.
So yes, you will still get sick, but for how long and for how severe are you going to be sick?
Yep.
So yes, definitely change that. Both girls, Emily, Scarlett has never been on an antibiotic in her entire life. She's 9. I cannot say it's me or her or anything, but any mom knows that is not normal or natural for a kid at the age of 9 to not have ever been on an antibiotic in her entire life.
Agreed.
So I have to say that the only difference that I do compared to everyone else is just the fact that I incorporate the oils into their routines. So that's the only thing that can save them from her specifically. Emily was different when she was a baby because she had a lot of UTIs from the get-go, and we navigated, you know, that. But when I started the oils for her, because I didn't have the oils then, she was 2, and that was the last time she was on an antibiotic, was when she was 2, and she's now 10.
Wow.
So it does show that it makes a difference. Everybody is different. So I also, people will phone and say, hey, I want to have this and this and this. And okay, that's great, but I still would like to sit down and do a little consultation because everybody is different. Mm-hmm. So yes, we have our cleaner concentrate, the On Guard one, which is fantastic, by the way, for all your windows, tiles, everything. You use one bottle. You don't need anything else, mirrors, everything, which is great. But you'll have one person that might not enjoy the smell of it. Just because you don't enjoy the smell of it, I can help you with that. I will go through it and say, okay, so what is it that you do like? Mm-hmm. And we'll add that oil to it. So
who are these people? Because I think On Guard smells amazing.
I love it, but then I have to say there's the Adobe range, which is a cleanser, also same as the On Guard, mm-hmm. which is fantastic. I mean, it is super strong, but if you like the white fir flavor, or you know, like pines and lemongrass, then you're gonna like that. It's so super strong for me that I personally don't enjoy cleaning my counters with it because it's too strong. I don't mind it in my bathrooms, but I don't like it in my kitchen. So there's definitely people who are more sensitive to smells than others, and they just don't like certain things. So you want something for sleep, but you absolutely cannot stand lavender. I have got a million other things that I can help you with for sleep if you don't like lavender. But I'm not going to know that unless I sit down with you and have a quick consultation with you and say, okay, let's look at you as a person, because every person is different. Right. There is not one blanket fits it all when it comes to natural products. It's very difficult for me to say, hey, let's just treat everybody with lavender because it's great for sleep. It's not the case. Mm-hmm. So you have to navigate it as a person-to-person basis. Don't get me wrong, I love everybody that tells me, hey, can I have lavender? and 2 days or 3 days later or 2 weeks later, you phone them and say, what did you use the lavender for, and did it work for you? I used it for sleep and I hate it and it doesn't work. Why not? I don't want you to buy the stuff first and then hate it.
Right, right.
I could have helped you get the correct products for you personally and help you use it correctly so that you had success. That's where the quality of the products come in as well, because people will come to me and say, everybody told me to use peppermint for headaches. Okay, great. We're using peppermint for headaches, but what are you using? Can we just look at the ingredients in your products and make sure that the bottle that you have is only actually 10% peppermint in it and it's 90%
Other stuff?
oils?
Yeah.
So yes, it's not going to work because it's not potent enough.
That makes sense.
Action. So there's so much behind it that yes, everybody's got this idea of what is great in essential oils and what to use, but it might just not be right for you.
Right, right. That makes a lot of sense. It's important to do that research. And I know you, so I know that you've done that for yourself and for your family, and you've chosen, the brand that you like the best. Because I mean, tell us about it. You've researched other oils, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been using essential oils since I was about 19, maybe earlier. I grew up with essential oils, essentially, with my parents, but I didn't really know it was essential oils. We just have always used it.
It was just your stuff. Yeah.
It was just what we used. So later on, I heard that it's actually called essential oils. And then I used a ton of other stuff. And then somebody introduced me to my current essential oils. And it was just, I thought, oh, I didn't know that there's quality differences. I didn't know that there's potency differences. So I want to check into it. I used several different companies as comparisons myself. I didn't just listen to what everybody tells me because I'm just not that way designed. And I could only find 5 companies worldwide that has got the quality oils that I would use to get results. The rest I would stick to only using for fragrance, but not for health and well-being and digging deeper into what it is that you want to achieve health-wise.
And that's because of the percentage of the amount of potent essential oil that is actually in the product itself?
And how it's sourced. Okay. Because how it's sourced is just as important, because you don't want a product that has been grown in terrible conditions and then still you get 90% or 100% of it, which is still not going to be great. So from the ground up, your product needs to be the right quality.
That makes sense.
So you have to go dig a little bit deeper backwards to kind of get to the companies who take it from the ground up and really put the effort in. And as I said, I could only find 5.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I know once you start digging into it, it probably blows your mind what the ingredients actually are in some of these things. Yes. So when you're chatting with a client, or maybe just someone that you just met, or you're at the coffee shop and you end up getting on the topic, what are kind of the first steps that you talk with clients about in terms of building their own health plan? And again, understanding that that's specific to them, right?
Absolutely. The very first thing you want to know is what they want to achieve. Everybody wants to achieve something different. And I'll give an example. I always had this thing in the back of my head that how on earth can I really help somebody if I didn't go through some sort of trauma and use the products to combat that, which is not the case. I was at the top of my health. I was at a stage where it's the fittest I've ever been. It's the healthiest I've ever been. It's the healthiest my family has ever been. And I got to a point to say, if I have been able to get my health to this level without it, or I didn't know I was going to incorporate that to bump it up to the next level. I sat at a point where I asked, what's next? If I could get myself to a point in my health with my diet, my toxic-free living in my house, exercise, sleep, stress, managing all these things, I got to a level where I cannot improve it any more than what I have done. There must be more. Our bodies are amazing. What we have out here, nature is amazing. There has to be something that you can do more to go to that next level of health.
Right.
That's where I was. So if I could have been on such a high level of health and wellness and still found that this bumped me to the next level of health, imagine what it does for a person that is starting at the bottom of their health journey.
Right.
It is mind-blowing what the results that you see in people is mind-blowing. If I was blown away by what I achieved in all of this, I know what it does for people. That's just, I wish I had it at the start of my journey.
Yeah.
Yes, I used a ton of oils, but I did not know that I can use it in so many more ways to really enhance your health and wellness. That I only learned much later. So if I had all this info at the start of my journey, just imagine.
Yeah, it just would have enhanced it that much more. And you're talking like, you know, when you talk with people, it's anywhere from, gee, I, you know, would like to get better sleep or sleep longer or whatever, to some pretty serious things, right? So it's kind of like the whole gamut.
Yes, I've had the most heartful clients that you have are people, like we spoke earlier, dear friends of mine who have cancer and they go through treatment. I can't cure cancer with oils. That's never the case.
Right.
But what I have been doing is making them feel a heck of a lot better while they're going through chemo. People that just could not eat, could not cope, did not have the energy, I helped them to go through that phase. I had a friend of ours, he's passed away now, cancer, and he used to go to the gym 5 o'clock every morning, and he got to a point where he was not able to go to gym anymore.
Oh.
We wrote a whole protocol for him, got him started on the protocol, and I'm not kidding, about 2-3 weeks later, he phoned me and said, you will never believe this, but I never thought I'll be back at the gym, but I'm at the gym this morning.
Oh, that's awesome.
Small things that means major in people's lives that's going through massive illness is a big thing for them. And just to be able to help them to achieve those small little things while they're going through a terrible time is massive. It's life-changing for them. And I know that writing the correct protocols and guiding people through how to use it, 100%, I know every time it's a success. Because it's different for every person. I can't say, hey, you know what, the protocol I wrote for Don is going to work for you, you, and you because you've got the same. It's not how it works. Every single person's protocol is different. If you at the start of your health journey into building your health journey, we start at a base, it's more or less the same, but still everybody will use the same products differently.
And now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the cost is a significant difference than the cost of over-the-counter drugs and medicine and things like that, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you think of how many hundreds of dollars, this is now a very small thing. How many hundreds of dollars do you spend at the drugstore when your kid has a earache or a tummy ache or a sore throat? Just minor things that you can treat at home.
Yeah, you at least
It's
walk
not
out there
cheap.
$100 at least.
Exactly. So we can treat a tummy ache with 2 drops, which probably kind of going to equal you to maybe $4 for the whole treatment. And you still have probably a year's supply left, depending on how many times they have tummy aches. Just a simple example. It's cents compared to hundreds of dollars that you do spend at the drugstore. Absolutely.
Totally. I've seen that myself. I mean, I have to tell you, there's a few of the blends that I really love. One of them is the On Guard, which I already mentioned that you have, and the other one is Digest Zen. Yes. So I'm just going to be real here. Like, we're all moms. I think we probably all deal with this, but sometimes I'm a little bloated and sometimes it's a gas problem and sometimes it's just not coming out the natural way, right? And so again, guys, I cleared this with my doctor. So for those of you concerned about that, I pop a drop or two in a capsule down the hatch and I feel like a normal human being that can button her pants again. It's awesome.
Yes. And if you don't like to use just the oils into your own capsules, there is Digest Zen soft gels.
Oh yeah, they have the, right.
So if you don't like it, I just like the value from having the oil itself, because I do so many other things with it. And that's kind of what I like. I like people to be able to say, hey, this is not just for one purpose. Let's use it for a ton of other things too. So there are the soft gels. There's peppermint soft gels. That's great for bloating. So one of the soft gels for bloating.
So I should pop a peppermint drop in with my digestive.
Yes, exactly. And for nausea, you're going to add your ginger to your digestion.
Right.
So there's a lot of little tricks that you can do to get a much quicker response. Emily is very sensitive, so she will be literally lying on the ground. We all have had this. Your kid is lying in front of the toilet on the tiles because they can't go anywhere else because they need to just vomit 24/7.
Yes.
And at first you never remember, or you don't think your first response is grab the Digest Zen, just get it down.
Right.
And yes, my kids have been taking oils internally since they were 2 and they're still alive. And as you have checked it with your pediatrician, I've done the same. I will never harm my kids or give them stuff they can't have internally. Right. And let's just be clear, you can't use any essential oils internally. It's not safe.
Right.
Okay.
Well, and just a little side note, like, you know, I've seen some comments out there in Facebook land about essential oils and that kind of thing. You have to be careful as an adult. Hey, Tony, welcome to the show. You have to be careful as an adult for the ingredients of anything that you ingest. Okay. Absolutely. Like how about, like, for instance, example, I'm allergic to peanuts. So I got to look at things like, you might be able to eat something that has peanuts in it. I'm not just going to blindly shove that in my mouth because Lynnette says that I should or likes it. Like, I'm a responsible adult and I need to check the ingredients and make sure that that's something that's safe for me. So just a little side note there.
Yes, absolutely. I also wish, going on that, I wish people will give natural solutions the same patients that they give Western medicine.
Yeah.
Here's an example for you. So you have high blood pressure. You go to your doctor. He gives you the first medication for your high blood pressure or cholesterol. It's making you feel icky. You go back to the doctor and you say, I don't like this one you've put me on. And he says, not a problem. I will, give you a script for a different one. Try this one. So for the next 2 weeks, you try the next one, and doesn't make you feel great. You go to the doctor for the third round of the same problem, the same medication, and you ask him again, I'm not feeling well on this specific medication. Not a problem. I'll give you another one.
Mm-hmm.
Why not have the same approach with natural solutions?
Yeah. Yeah.
We should be open to saying, hey, you know what? This one might not be working so great for you, but I tell you what, I can help you find another one. Because there are so many oils that does the same thing differently in different people.
Yep. We just had a comment, actually, Tony Marquette. Thank you so much, Tony. And she said, big capital letters, yes. Medicine, whether it is mainstream or natural, takes time. And some treatments work for one person, but not as well or at all for the next. So it's like totally case by case. And that makes so much sense.
And that's why I take my time with people. I like sitting down with you and discussing it with you, just like you would with any doctor or person or anybody you go and see for any form of natural or not even natural, for health and well-being.
Yep.
You go to the gym, you speak to a coach, you consult somebody that knows what they're doing with athletics or any form of training. You consult somebody if you don't know. And you trust them to help you through the process. You go to a doctor, you trust your doctor to help you through a process. You're going to speak to me or anybody else that's great with essential oils, and you're going to trust me to take you through the process and get you to the end result. We're not going to start by saying, here's $1,000 worth of essential oils because you have got a goal of being here and you're currently here. We start step by step, and it's a building block, just like your doctor will do with you. The same thing goes when you start weight training. Your trainer is not throwing 30-pound weights on you and tell you to start weight training with 30 pounds. You start with a measly 2 pounds.
Right. Work your way up
to 15 or 20 pounds. It's the same thing. You have to start somewhere and start working with somebody to get you where you want to be.
Right. It's a process, and I think a lot of times just, I don't know what the reason is, but society as a whole, I feel, is very much yesterday. How come I don't have that solution yesterday? You know what I mean? Because good solutions they take time. They don't, come in an instant.
But people think I'm crazy in sense of, I'm going to give you a product that I think is going to work for you. Sorry, that's my dog.
That's okay. That's fine. Mine's you're walking around somewhere.
He's old and he coughs now. So, and anyway, where was I? What was I saying?
So we were talking about, the dog got me off track too. So we were talking about not expecting a solution yesterday.
Oh, yes. And people think I'm nuts because I will give you something and I'll say to you, I'm going to call you in 3 days. I'm like, 3 days? Yes, 3 days. Because if you're not feeling significantly better in 3 days with what I'm giving you, I want to change it. We will add something, 1 drop here, 1 drop there, or I'll take this away and add this one. But I promise you, it's just every 3 days. This is not like we're going to spend 3 months to find the thing that is starting to get you to where you want to be.
Right.
Every 3 days, we will check and see where you are at. But you have to have at least some change in 3 days for me. Personally, if I'm working with somebody, I want to see that change within 3 days.
Tony says 3 days gives the treatment time to process through your system.
Absolutely.
It makes a lot of sense. And I feel like it's important to document the changes too. So that way, I mean, we have a lot of stuff flying at us all day, every day, right? Between work and momming it up and wifing it up and all of that. And so, sometimes we might not remember exactly. So document these changes and then you can see, does this really work for me or do I need to switch to something different?
Yes, and that's part of the 90-day plan. So I like to start with somebody and we say, okay, so this is what we're doing for the first couple of weeks. This is what we're going to be at for your journey at a 30-day point, and this is what we're going to be at 60 days, and this is where we're going to be at. This is our predictions up until 90 days. Because after 90 days, I feel like everybody is quite comfortable with what they're using, how they're using it, how it's making them feel, how it's bringing a difference. So I feel that's a very sweet spot for me to say, you are good, I'm here. If there's anything that you need, or we want to sit down in another month or so to sit and say, okay, I'm ready to move forward, or something didn't work. But by then, we should be pretty close to having a full program and having it comfortable for you, safely for you. You feel empowered, you feel safe. People fire me after 90 days. I'm good, Lynnette. Thank you. I know what I'm doing.
Because you've taught them.
I don't need, exactly. You have to educate people. It's not just about, hey, and I have my on-guard cleaner. I know how much you like it. So I
love
thought,
it.
hey, you know what? I'm going to show you what I do, because it is a bottle this size and you need 1 tablespoon in a 16-ounce glass bottle. How long does your one bottle of cleaner last you?
Honestly, more than a month.
Exactly. And that's 1 tablespoon out of this.
Yeah.
For my kitchen. Then I have 1 in every single bathroom. It goes a very far way.
Yeah, it does.
But it's building blocks. You have to, everybody wants a toxic-free home, but you get a bee in your bonnet and now you want to throw everything out of your house because you want to get all these products that's toxic-free. Start small.
Yeah.
You want toxic-free, change your cleaners. Start with the last thing you're ever going to make toxic-free is your toilet.
Yes. Yes.
That's the thing that, you have to kind of build the trust with yourself inside your house before you do the actual toilet itself is last, I promise.
Yeah.
But again, there's building steps, your laundry, your deodorant, your toothpaste. We can go on and on if you want to go toxic free, and I'm very passionate about it because it took me a while to get there. It's not something that you have to say, hey, I want to go toxic free and this is going to cost me thousands of dollars because I have to get all these different products. It's not the case.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. I totally agree.
Well, you're buying all these things already, aren't you?
Right.
You're just buying them somewhere else.
From somebody you don't know. That doesn't give you any direction.
From a grocery store, or you are spending that money already. You are now just directing it somewhere else and getting a service with it. So
yeah, and getting somebody who, exactly. And you are totally priceless. So Lynnette, where can people get in touch with you if they have questions, if they want to talk with you about, maybe their own individual health plan or getting their home toxic free, like all of that stuff? What's the best way?
Absolutely. The best way is to text or phone. Texting is probably the quickest and easiest for me because I respond. I don't always answer my phone on the first time. So, and if I don't have your number already, but if you text me and say, hey, Lynnette, can you jump on a call with me? Absolutely. Or some people want to text, they don't want to talk, and that's also okay. There's a million ways we can connect, but the first best way is to text me and say, hey, I want to talk oils, and we can chat oils.
Awesome. And she is so super responsive. And I was going to say responsible and responsive and the same thing, but she's that too. All right. Well, awesome, Lynnette. Thank you so much for all of that. That was so much information packed in just a short amount of time, which is just the way we like to do it here. So hopefully you mamas out there, I know Tony was with us, and I know that who else was with us? Marissa and Danielle were with us. So thank you guys. And hopefully you learned something that you can walk away from and implement right away. Definitely get in touch with Lynnette. I will attest, I've known her for a while. And gosh, we met each other, I think, at an oil party at your house or something like that. So
we were only 42 people in the moms group.
Yes, that's right.
Yes,
that's right.
When we started. Yes.
That's awesome. We've built our relationship around oils, Lynnette. All right, everyone. If you would like to check out our like bazillion of other live and learns that we've done, I swear we have touched just about every topic. You can hop on over to our YouTube channel. I'm so excited about how organized and pretty it is. And you can find all of our playlists there for all of the shows that we do, including our Live and Learn show. While you're there, pop us a like, give us a subscribe, and then that way you'll know when we drop our next juicy bit of information. All right, guys, have an awesome day, and thank you, Lynnette.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.